Update 1 on Typhoon Francisco, which is currently located to the southwest of Guam right now, currently with wind speeds of 100 miles per hour and a pressure of 959 millibars, intensifying fairly quickly at the moment. Current position is 12.1 degrees north, 143.0 degrees east. And the storm's expected to continue towards the north at least first of all, and then to move towards the northwest, intensifying as it goes, reaching a peak intensity possibly of category 4 intensity, which is probably around 145, maybe 150 miles per hour. Before moving towards the northwest and potentially affecting the Japanese islands in the next 5 days or so, possibly as a major typhoon as well. So currently right now, tropical storm warnings in effect for Guam and tropical storm watches in effect for Rota, Tinian and Saipan, which are all along the Mariana Islands, all those areas under tropical storm possibilities over the next few days. No other warnings in effect for any other areas, at least not for the time being, but we could see some warnings coming into effect for Japan as the storm moves towards the northwest. And this map here shows the current typhoon probabilities. The red outline there shows typhoon conditions possible in the next 24 hours. The light pink there shows typhoon conditions possible in 48 hours. The orange line there shows tropical storm conditions possible in the next 24 hours, and the yellow outline also shows tropical storm conditions possible in the next 48 hours as the storm moves towards the northwest. Quite an area that could be under tropical storm conditions, including the southern Mariana Islands, extending towards the north as well. The current sea surface temperatures are certainly warm enough for sustained development. You can see here around 29 to 30 degree temperatures quite easily there where that storm's currently located. So here are the model runs then, the CMC first of all, pretty much following the track forecast that we've already shown, with the storm curving just away from the Japanese islands, the Ryukyu Islands, also showing a new tropical storm forming in the Bay of Bengal as well as another one in the West Pacific too. The GFS model also has a fairly similar scenario as far as Francisco's concerned, at least for the beginning part, but you can see how the storm moves through the Ryukyu Islands of Japan and then possibly over the mainland as a significant typhoon, which is certainly something to watch, with another storm hanging on to Francisco as well towards the southeast. The latest satellite imagery, you can see here these storms located towards the south there, looking fairly decent at the moment, possibly expanding as well over the past few hours. You can certainly see quite easily an eye that's formed in the past day or so, and the storm's certainly on its way to intensifying into what could be an intense typhoon over the next few days. There's a few little areas of interest off to the east as well. Invest 94W, which is currently located just to the east of the storm. That area of thunderstorm activity is what that invest represents, and that could also develop into a storm nearby Francisco. You can see Francisco's movement has been slowly towards the north. It's a little bit erratic at the moment, and could be a close approach for Guam as a matter of fact. You can see the central core of the storm still lingering just off the coast of Guam, but could be a threat over the next 12 to 24 hours in particular. So looking at the world tropics then, not too much going on right now. We have the remnants of Priscilla in the eastern Pacific, which have dissipated. Invest 99L in the Atlantic, which has a very low chance of development, and Francisco in the Pacific, of course, and Invest 94W as well, just off to its northeast or west-northeast, out in the open waters of the Pacific. That's all that's going on in the western Pacific at the moment. Here's the current map. You see a little area of interest as well off to the east of 94W, but has not yet been tagged as an invest. So 2013 compared then, it's the 51st busiest season on record, just below 2000, just above 1983, with 23 tropical storms so far, 12 typhoons, and 6 of which reaching category 3 intensity. This could be the 7th, certainly a good prospect to be the 7th storm to reach category 3 intensity, but would not affect that table, its standings any way, shape or form, and at least until the next storm forms anyway. And this is the latest tracking map on the website. You can stay the most up to date on the Force 13 website on the West Pacific tracking page in between these video updates. Obviously the main page for that, the main storm tracking page, is force13.com/stormtracking.html, so wherever in the world a storm forms, you'll be most up to date on there with all the storms out there laid out on the world map, showing all their intensities, including post-tropical storms and invests as well. With tables at the top and bottom showing their intensities, and indeed any warnings that are currently in effect. Obviously we have only the warnings associated with Francisco in effect at the moment, which are tropical storm watches and warnings currently in effect for Guam and the Mariana Islands, the rest of the Mariana Islands as well, extending northwards to Saipan. You can also find us elsewhere on the web, Facebook and Twitter. Just search Force 13 on either of those mediums. You should find us fairly easily enough, and as always, please do show your support by doing the usual means of engagement, liking, subscribing, commenting, favoriting, following, or indeed anything else that you may think of. And if you have anything to say, any comments or questions regarding the current storm, just do so underneath this video or by private message if you so wish on the YouTube channel. But until the next update, which will probably follow at around the same time tomorrow, that'll be 3 PM UTC on Friday the 18th of October, that's all for now.